Hello and welcome. This is the interrogation of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. This is only for informational and entertainment purposes. I will be adding some of my commentary here and there. So let's start with Gypsy Rose entering the interrogation room to meet Stan. Stan Hancock is a detective that's going to perform the interrogation with her. So he starts with asking her simple questions to make her feel comfortable and ready to open up about what happened that led her in this situation. He says, "How is your day today? And are you alright?" Of course, all to make her feel very comfortable. He then proceeds to ask her her date of birth. Gypsy said, "It's the 27th of July, 1995. And there we go with the first time where she needs to make up a story that her mother made up to change the age of her. Well, she continues to say it is a long story, but me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors, and my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina. So of course making the officer or the interrogator feel sorry for her, because that is what she learned. She learned to gain sympathy from people and to get what she wants, or her mother wants. And then she proceeded to say, unfortunately, they messed up, and it was a long time ago. They messed up the paperwork. It said 1991, but it's actually 95. He then asks, "Well, how old are you then?" She said, "Well, really, I'm 19. But on my medical insurance, it's 23. He said, "Okay, alright, so how old are you then?" So it's all very unclear. She says she's 19. And then, of course, proceeded to ask her more personal information like security number and, of course, also where she lives. And does she has a job? She says, "No, I don't." Then they proceeded to talk about family. She proceeded to answer all these questions in a very normal way, pretending to act as if she is not aware of what is going on. And then Stan, the detective, said, "Well, Gypsy, we are investigating something, so I need you to talk to me about it, okay?" And then Gypsy proceeded to answer in a way that she is claiming to not know what is going on and why she is here. She said, "I am thankful because I have no idea why I'm here." He said, "Okay, well." And then she said, "Nobody will tell me anything. I have no idea at all." Of course, the fact that she has run away with her boyfriend and her mother is dead is not anything that should make you feel like you have any idea why you're there. And then he said he read the rights to her so that she understands that she can stop at any time and ask for a lawyer. Well, he said about her schooling. "So how much schooling do you have?" She said, "Well, my mother homeschooled me, but my education is kind of scattered. But I have like the basics of a 3rd grader." He said, "Alright. But do you know how to read and write?" "Well, she said, "I'm not really good in spelling, but I can read perfectly fine." Okay, and then he said, "What is your comprehension level?" She said, "Good." Okay, well, of course, to make sure if she's even able to stand in a comprehensive way during the interrogation, if she can understand what he's saying. So, of course, he then continued with the Miranda rights, asking more personal information. Asked her another question about a computer. Well, remember that she did have a computer, because that's the way she was communicating with her boyfriend, who she ran away with. Nicholas Godejon, who committed the crime for her, which he all revealed in the police interview. He did not pretend to not know what is going on. He basically told the truth right there and then. So then, he asks, do you have a computer? Do you ever play games or anything? She then said, well, I don't really have a computer. See, that's a really strange answer to give. You don't really have a computer. Have you cheated on me? Well, not really. You know, it's a bit strange. But okay, let's continue. He then proceeded to ask her if she has a cell phone or anything like that. No, she said. No, not at all. No, she said, my mom didn't let me use one because she was like a cop, you know. She was pretending to be all in my business all the time, overprotective. Well, that's a lie, because of course she did have a computer and she did have a cell phone, and she was communicating with him all this time. Which is of course a very strange answer to give, because she has run away to be with Nicholas Godejon, and if she does not have a computer and does not have a cell phone, how were they able to meet if she was stuck in the house with her mother? She said, okay, I am completely honest. Believe me, sir. Well, he proceeded. If you are involved in this, you need to be extremely honest with me. You need to tell me now and not wait till later. Do you understand that? Yeah, I do, she said. I do, sir. Okay, she said. I want you to understand there is something going on here, and you need to be aware of it. So, he proceeded to ask her, how did you get to this point where you are right now in this location? Didn't you live in another place? She said, well, yeah. Well, I met a boyfriend, Nick. It was online, like on an online dating website. She's already made a trap for herself, because she said she did not have a computer or a phone, but now she's saying she met him online. Interesting. But of course the police is well aware of that, and are only there to uncover her lies and make her confess herself. Which again Nick Godejon did immediately, and she is now running in circles. Let's see how this proceeds. She said, well, my mother had a laptop, and so I used hers. Alright, you see, she backed that lie up very smoothly. Okay, but he said, let me get back a second, right? Because you said earlier that we should be honest with each other, remember? Okay, well, I'll be honest with you as long as you are honest with me, okay? He said. And I want you to understand that honesty goes a long way. Well, because let me tell you, you don't want something like this to snowball. And to a bigger snowball that will crush you in the end. Well, we'll use that as an example, okay, Miss Blanchard? So, of course, you don't want that snowball to get so big that you know what happens when it rolls down the hill, right? Okay, so, tell me, Blanchard. Miss Gypsy, how do you know that? And what happens when you start telling lies? They get bigger and bigger, and you don't even remember which ones you said, which you told, and as soon as something gets so big, it goes down the bottom of the hill and crashes into a lot of people. So, can we make a point that we shall be honest about things? Alright, she said. Alright, so let me say something to you, Miss Blanchard. If you tell the truth, nothing of this will happen, so let's go on from this point. I don't think you're a bad person. I think you're a smart person. But I think that sometimes you deal with things in a very bad way. But I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me, and if you're involved in anything, well, you can just tell me. Your mom is dead now. What I want to ask you, is your mom's death had anything to do with you? Then he continues to make her feel that when she tells the truth, it will be a great burden lifted off her shoulder. And it's okay to make mistakes as long as you are honest and just say it. He said, what I do think is there is some stuff going on that you need to talk about. Now, I want you to understand something that you need. You need to be looking at me, because she is continuously looking down, not making any eye contact. He said, do you know what happened to your mom? I think you know exactly what happened to her. He said, but the first thing that we need to get out of the way right now, why that's the biggest thing, do you know? He said, you've got friends that love you, and your mom. She said, yeah, well, I feel they care for you. You know, there are you down here, and they are watching this event take place. They want answers. Well, about you? She said, well, I have friends in Missouri. He said, I know that, so... And what happened? She said, I would never hurt my mom. He said, okay, sweetheart, do you really want to dig yourself into that hole? Deeper and deeper? No, seriously, I would never hurt her. Listen to me, okay? Okay? Will you listen? I don't play around with that, do you understand? I'm not going to go along with this game you're trying to play. She said, I didn't do anything. He tries to grab her attention again to the point that she needs to remind herself of that snowball that they talked about earlier. Because you know, that's what you're doing right now. Do you understand that, Miss Gypsy Rose? You are making that snowball bigger and bigger, but every time that you keep on lying about the situation over and over again, you have a chance, an opportunity. I'm giving it to you right now. Because you know what? Once I walk out that door, the opportunity is gone. Adding some time pressure and feeling that it's now or never. Which might work with some people. Let's see if it works with Blanchard. Let me tell you. You don't have a chance to erase the mistake, alright? But you need to think of your friends and family. We know you've got a lot of them. Well, everybody wants to know why. They still care about you, still continuing to work on those emotional triggers that people have, and might feel guilty and start to open up and tell the truth, which worked again with Mr. Godejon, who committed the crime and was completely enticed by Miss Blanchard to do so, which is all shown in documents that have been released in the communications through texts, and how she forced him, basically enticed him to do it, and continued to plead innocence up until this day. not taking responsibility because she said in the interview that, well, it was him who committed the crime. I didn't do it. So let's see how this interrogation plays out for her. He said continuously, your friends are very concerned about you. They love you. But guess what? Those friends are standing at the bottom of that hill. They will be crushed by your lies. And then, I think I get things very, very clearly for you. And then she said, oh, you think it's me? Why do you think it's me? I have always thought my mother and I are best friends. Listen to me, he said. Listen, alright? Please don't do it. Don't dig yourself into a hole. That's what you're doing. You think you can convince me of your innocence, of your pretentious behavior? Because that's what you're doing. Tell me, do you not think that we have talked to everybody? I'm not going to come out in here without having all my things in line. Do you understand, Gypsy? Of course I understand. Please, I didn't do anything. We need to get it to the why. We already know you did it, but why did you do it? Then all these questions. And we can move on from this, alright? We can just search for a solution. Okay. Listen, you're the only person that knows why. You're the only person. So are you going to come clean and tell us? This continues on for a little while, until we reach a point that they start to shift the conversation to Mr. Godejon. She and I were having some relational problems, and that's why I came here. I came here because my mother came down from my house, and I guess she wanted me to stay a real girl forever. Well, I didn't want that, so she didn't really want me to have a boyfriend, and she was like, well, pretty much if you want to move to Wisconsin with him, fine, go. And that's what I did. I basically packed my stuff. Well, that's what she has made up. Kinda shifting her story a little bit, saying that, well, this controlling mother, sad. Okay, if you want to move to Wisconsin with him, alright, go, fine. Right, that's what she did. But sir, I'm not a violent person. I have never ever hurt her, of course, now forgetting the entire situation previously with when she had basically used the BB gun to try to fake kill her mother. But you see, this voice of pure innocence is what she makes it out to be. Pulls on the heartstrings of people who don't understand the true nature of psychology and how people fake themselves into anything they want from other people. Of course, this is what she learned from a young age. Alright, so it's Nick, right? And so I just basically chose to come here. I gave him money to come here, and I said, can you please come pick me up, because my mother is kicking me out of my house very soon, Nick. And that's when he asked his mom, kid, please, mother, can I stay with him, with her in my house, mom? His mom said, okay, sure. So, well, that's kind of what happened. And then, of course, she proceeded to give more details about what happened and how they eventually got to the place where she was arrested eventually. Okay, then we are going to get back to where we started from. The officer said, okay, well, are you gonna listen to me? Let's go back to the why. Because now it's only facts. We need to know why. We can talk all night about this stuff. And I'll just sit here and will listen to you and everything. But I can tell you this investigation is very thorough. And there is a lot of wisdom. So, please be wise with your answers. Well, you need a lot of peace within yourself, I understand. You know, once you get this off your chest, you will make yourself feel a lot better, you know. That is, if Rose Blanchard has a conscience. Then that will work, but we, of course, are not very well acquainted with her mind at this point of the interrogation. Okay, you're right, and you're right, but you know what? You know what, Gypsy? Sometimes even sweet people make mistakes. Telling her that your voice and the way you talk doesn't really affect me, you know, 'cause I have been through all of that in my career. Alright, so we can continue. We all make mistakes, but you know what? You're not that person to lie about it, right? I'm glad you're not. Well, you know what? You worked through it. You're right. You do. Now I think that's kind of where we're at with you. I think that you're stressing your life because your mother wanted for you to stay so little all the time, like a little girl. But finally you got to a boiling point and said, you know what, I'm done, he said. Establishing a course of events, what happened, right? So she can then branch off into maybe slightly kind of this story, or, you know, just to make that first step into the confession part of the interrogation. You know, no matter what, Mom, I'm going to go with my boyfriend. I'm going to do whatever I want. That's what you thought, right, Gypsy? And you've made a decision. But now, we need to again go back to the why this happened to your mom. You know what? People make mistakes again all the time. That's what he's continually saying. To again make her feel alright and at peace, and knowing that, you know, people make mistakes, it's alright, and we can move on from them. You know, the forgiveness is there. And then he said, well, you don't? I don't know. If I knew the basic facts of what's going on, sweetheart, my friend. She said, my friend, I don't have a phone, but I do have a phone, I mean, but it doesn't really call people. It's just, you know, unusable phone. Basically I used it for Yahoo messaging app, and one of the people that had texted me, I had texted him, and I was leaving home and he texted me, and he's like, are you okay? People have been posting stuff on Facebook and asking what's posts, and your questions, please, came before I could even read what he was saying, so I guess he was trying to tell me something. Okay, do you see that? That's what all your friends are wondering? Why even that friend that you're talking about is wondering? Why is everybody worried about you? I mean, he's always been a bully to me, but look at me this time. It's different. It's a lot different. She is very concerned about you. So again, why did it happen? You do know why it happened. You know we are not going to play those games with me, are you? Are you going to start to be honest with me, Gyp? I'm not a bad person. No, you're not. You're not a bad person. I don't care what anybody have ever said to you. I don't care what even your family has ever done to you, but I don't care that maybe someone bullied you or made fun of you. Well, you know what? All that rage gets filled up inside. That gets so overwhelming to anybody, right? So, what happens? You explode. And everybody does. Even you, Gypsy, can explode from this event taking place in your life, from being bullied. And, well, you know, Jesus got angry in the Bible even. Did he not? Yes. And didn't he flip the tables over? Yes. Okay, so even he gets angry, right? So Gypsy, it's alright if even Jesus gets to the point of being angry and reaching that boiling point. Miss, you can just step into the knowing that it's alright to just say the truth. That's what he's trying to do, of course, with this interrogation tactic, which is a very clever one. Matter of fact, there is still a lot of people there for you, you know? So even when you tell the truth, you will not be alone and people will still care for you. Why, I don't even know if you knew this, but your mom had a guardianship paper for me because... Well, can we talk about the why first, please? Because you're still trying to get into another subject, but please tell me. Look at me, he said. Stop letting this get out of control. And know that I'm here, okay? I'm here for you. And then he said, he just doesn't know why. Imagine how many people you talk to, and you know what? Even one of them wants to know why. So this went on for a good 15 minutes, and him pulling on her heartstrings, remembering her family, her friends that are still might be supportive of her, and it's better to just come clean, she said, after he first said, look, I'm gonna tell you this. She said, well, I'm gonna tell you, but please don't think I did it because I don't know if I should say it, but I didn't do anything to my mom, okay? But I will say something, because please, I didn't do it, okay? But look, Nick and my mom didn't really get along very well, alright? But that's all I know. Okay, he said, so why do you think Nick did it? I didn't say he did, sweetheart. I already know. It's alright. I talk to people. I told you in the beginning, I don't come here without any knowledge up front. So, what else do you want to tell me? She said, he said he hated my mom because my mom didn't want us to be together. And, but I was getting on my mom's nerves. Her nerve medicine was running out. Her patience was getting very thin for me and sticking up for him every time. Good job, he said. Good. Very good. And so I asked. And then she asked me to stay away from him, and I promised her I would. Okay, he said. And then she said, well, if you want to go... Well, I guess out of love she did it. Okay, but because she wanted me to be happy, so why did this happen to your mom? The interrogator asked. What was the reason, Blanchard? I don't know. All I know is that. Why didn't it hurt her, sweetheart? Sweetheart, enough. What was the reason behind this? And we are again back to the why. Because you see, we always go back to the why. Because if you tell the why, the how will follow. I can't see why, because he knows I love my mom. He knows that she is the most important thing to me. So, why do you think he did it to her? He only said something to me that he said that it is us against the world, and that he is going to protect me no matter what. And that we are going to get married and everything. And nothing was going to stop us. Okay, very good. Well, not even your mom, he said. Well, so he took care of it. And, what do you mean? So he took care of it? That's what he said, the detective. Please forgive me, but, what do you mean? I don't think he ever hurt her. I mean, he's very sweet, he's very kind. I mean, he doesn't like police that much. He's like more of a radicalist, I guess you would call it. Okay, honey. I know your mother loves you very much, so why don't we go off of what Nick believes and what he doesn't believe, alright? Alright, but we are going to start talking about why Nick did this to your mom. We can well establish that. And if she goes along, then that's one step closer to the truth. And you know why he did it? Don't let your friends down, Gypsy. Then don't let those ones that still are there, don't let them down. Now the time has come to be truthful, honey. No more lies. The only reason I couldn't make up is because he wanted me to himself, okay? Because my mom kept me getting in the way with us. Well, she wanted to keep her little baby young, She said that there was something dangerous about him. She had a way of reading people, trying to push the blame into his shoes by saying that there was something dangerous about him and that she noticed it. Of course, she is not dangerous at all. She did not manipulate him. And she said that he seems like the head in the closet type of person, and that kind of murders and kills. So you see, it couldn't have been me. Well, so your mother was like a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of person? Right? Is that what she thought of him? Do you think your mother was right? You know your mother was right. You hit her right in the nail on the head, sweetheart. You know your mom was right when she said it. You should have listened to her. We can all agree that it was his fault. Everything was his fault. I should have broken up with him. Okay, do you think you could have stopped this from happening? No. Was he too strong? He was very strong. Was it hard for you to try to stop him? It was very hard, right? Wow, I see, but did you try to stop him? I'm not trying to stop him. Look at me, I'm very proud of you for saying that. It is a very rough step, but we have made a good progress. So tell me, how did you try to stop him? Did you try to pull the knife away from him? Was that a yes? I cannot dance with your nodding. You gotta say it. Was it a yes? Yes. What did you do with the knife after it was done? Oh, God. I'm sorry that I lied to you from the beginning. Alright, I'll tell you the truth. I will tell it all now. I'm proud of you. I just love him so much. But maybe he can't help it. I'm afraid to tell you what he did. Maybe he can... Oh, he killed my mom. He killed your mom? Yes, I know it. Oh, I know what you're saying, but how did you experience it? I regret not judging all of this. He was supposed to come and visit. And I thought we were going to go outside and we were just going to sit for a while on the porch and then... What, outside your mom's house? Yes. Okay, he came inside and, he stopped. He started walking to my mom's room and I told him we need to go outside. We need to go outside. What was your mom doing at this point? Was she asleep? Yes, she was asleep. And I got up to use the restroom and at that point he had put me in the bathroom and he had locked the door. Oh, alright. And then he went to my mom's room and I heard her crying. I heard her crying my name. Oh, you heard your mom crying? And calling out your name? Oh, was she screaming? Oh, yeah. And then he opened the door and he was all covered with his hands. I don't know. And he had cut off all his... Oh, you don't know if it was his left or right hand that had cuts? Oh my gosh, it was his hand. Okay, well, please, what happened next? Just stay calm and proceed to answer the question. He then commanded me to clean him up, and of course I did, and then I did it with all the wipes that I had, and... You mean baby wipes? Yeah. So, and what did you do with those baby wipes? What, did you throw it away? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But you don't know how he is. He is crazy. Listen to me. Alright, I'm listening. We're gonna be okay, alright? We're gonna be fine. Well, let me tell you, I was in shock, and then he took me to my bedroom and he made me take all my toys off the bed, and then he raped me, and then he raped you again, and then after he was finished, he gave me my bag, and well, he then asked what was in the bag, and well, it was a bunch of stuff like soaps and things and clothes and... Alright, so... And then what did you do? I had a pink suitcase with me, and we put our clothes on, and then we called a taxi. But do you remember the taxi company? Alright, he then proceeded to talk about all these details about how he eventually managed to get to the location. So, alright, now, when we get all of this out of the way, we want to go back to the same question, Gypsy, and that question is why? I want you to tell me why he did it, but I know why. Okay, well, on the phone they had an argument and I wanted them to get along with each other. I mean, I wanted it so badly. And then I invited him to come in March to see the Cinderella movie with me. And, but anyway, unfortunately, it hurt my mom's feelings because I paid more attention to him than to her. Okay, and anyway, she didn't like him from then on, and I called him to try to talk to him, and he told me, I mean, she had talked to him for a little while. I was like, you're not good enough for my daughter, you're a creep. And it's creepy that you're hitting on my daughter in that movie. That's not even for adults. And he doesn't like his name to be driven through mud. So is that something he told you, Gypsy? Is that something that Godejon told you? Is that word exact same he used? He told me. So he told you didn't like his name to be driven through mud. Okay, and then he said that it was just getting justice or revenge. Do you know what is meant by getting justice or revenge? Do you know what is meant by that? And what did you tell him? Well, he just said that she just bad-talked him and she deserved it. You know, he's a mean-hearted person and I'm here the good girl, and he just locked me up inside the bathroom and did all of it without my knowing. Or did he say she deserved something else or something different? Well, he said that he would have. You can just whatever word you want, I mean, but let me tell you, Miss Blanchard, you are not in trouble. He said he would have done worse if he didn't care about me. He said he wanted to originally rape her too. Okay, but did you go in and look at your mom? No, I didn't want to. I know, but can you describe it for me, the knife? And then they continue to talk about the knife and how it looked like, and what qualities it had. Not really important for the subject matter. But sir, you must know, I really love my mother very much. I can tell you do. And I have got to know this is going to happen. You are going to never want it with you. No. I mean, I wouldn't have never gotten involved with him. So you have never had a relationship with him? No, we've been in a relationship for 2 years and 7 months, and that time his exes have told me that he is very controlling. And he is into that thing, BDSM, the fetish thing, that is a sexual one. Oh, right. And I agree to it, I guess. I guess there is nothing wrong with him being a little controlling. I mean, that's fine. But, of course, forgetting the fact that she might have been the one that introduced him to it, which could be the case after the investigations done after the fact. And the conversations that have come out. Did anything ever happen here when you were in this state? Sexually, I mean. Was all the sex that you had here in this state, or was it consensual? Yeah, it was consensual, but in Missouri he forced himself on me, and when he did it after he killed my mom. He killed her, you know that? How did that make you feel? It was horrible. So, and then where did you guys have sex after that happened? In my bedroom? Okay. And then we went back to the hotel and he kept telling me that everything was going to be okay. And everything that he did was for me because he worships me. And he wanted us to be together. So that's what he wanted, the officer said. He told you everything would be fine. Okay, well, how did that make you feel when he told you? Well, because we talked about getting married. And then this goes on for quite a while. Back and forth. The officer then proceeded to ask her if she ever went into the bathroom, and she said, "No, sir." And he said that you said that he locked you up in the bathroom? Can you describe how that happened? I thought I was heading towards my mom's room because I was feeling awake. I was here, it is a hallway, and I was like, "Where are you going?" And then he put me in the bathroom, he closed the door, but first he locked the door, and it went to lock itself. he put the lock inside, and then he closed it. Okay, so how come you never unlocked it and came out? Oh, I never thought about it. Of course, I never thought about it. And at that point, did you know what his intentions were? No, not really. So you did not know? No, because I was kind of afraid of him. So I thought I'd give him time to cool off, I guess. They then proceeded to talk about the events that took place in the house and her recognition and recollection of it, until they reached the point that they went and took the bus. Then proceeded to go back to the hotel where they finally stayed. He then proceeded to ask her, Miss Gypsy, have you seen the Facebook posts that were out there? That was on the Gypsy site? Yes, sir. Okay, well, who put those posts out there? You know, the one that I'm specifically talking about? The very first one. What did it say? Something really bad. Okay, what was so bad and what was sad? Oh, well, I'll just write it down because I wanted to be a good person. I wanted someone to find my mother. Okay, and what did you put? What did you type on there? I put what he had said to me, and he was happy about it, which was what? That bitch is dead. So that's what you said? So, I wanted someone to know that something was wrong, and I knew that my friends would all worry about me. And that's not the way me and my mom talk. So, if I put it on there, then they'll know something is wrong. Okay, where did you do that from? From his house, she said, on a phone, a computer. Oh, he has a computer. Then continued to discuss more details about where it is in her backpack, the computer, of course, and how she could proceed to clean up the house. And then the detective proceeded to say, well, you told me the truth on some things, but of course you left out some other stuff. So can we say that we are not playing this game? Because Nick already told me everything. Well, the knife is mailed. He has mailed it. Oh, we know where the knife is at. So the gig is up. You are done, it's up. You hated your mother. I did not hate my mother. I did not hate my mom. Yeah, you did. No, I loved my mom. And you would never done this to your mom. He needs to tell you that I honestly have been having horror, but I didn't want to do it. And he said that he would commit suicide if he didn't. Oh, really? Did he tell you that? I said it was a bad thought, and that I was thinking, and I don't think that we should be doing this. A lot of people think about stuff, but when you act, that's when you cross the line. And that's what you have done. You acted upon it. No, sir. Now, we are going to be booking you in later on, and probably as a murderer. Okay? Well, as long as... But no, sir, I did not do that to my mom. Listen to me. Listen to me, Gypsy. Sir, I didn't do it. You did. Because you are behind it. You pulled all the strings, and we know it. I'm not. Listen, Gypsy. I'm not going to sit and argue with you about it, alright? All I wanted was... that's not all you wanted. for him to come and get you? There is a lot more to the whole story that you are leaving out. Well, I'm not going to play this sympathetic game with you. I'm not like that. I can see right through you. Please, I'm not able to be in jail. I have a lot of medical needs. Well, I understand that, but I'll take care of it, alright? I want a lawyer. Please, sir, I want a lawyer. I really need a lawyer.